my name's Carla Margolis.
And I'm Sean McDonald, and this is Mr. Cole Porter, who is our mascot and namesake for Club Cole.
Our pop-up club that produces musical events at various venues.
We're very excited that for New Year's Eve this year, Chef Brian Canick has agreed to help us put on an event. So at 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock on New Year's Eve, you can join us in Ann Arbor for a great show of 2 standards and a buffet of hors d'oeuvres and dessert.
We've created a segment featuring one of our dips that we serve at many of our events, and people just rave about it. So here we are, ready to make this recipe for you. It is a vintage recipe from James Beard's Menus for Entertaining book from 1965. And it's so simple, and it's one of the best dips I've ever had. And it serves potentially 40 people. So let's get started.
Here we go, okay.
Yeah.
So, again, thinking that you're serving 40 people, we're gonna start out with 8 ounces of mayonnaise. Now, James Beard suggests that you can make your own olive oil-based mayonnaise and even make it an aioli by adding some garlic and capers and parsley to that. But those are some of the flavorings that are going to be in this recipe already. And we find that for most people, it's really enough with just what's required and called for in the recipe. So 8 ounces of mayonnaise and then 8 ounces of sour cream. Now, we have found in making this many times for our events that for a dip, you want to make sure that you're using a real sour cream, not a light sour cream. You want something that's stiff. Also, I find that sometimes the organic sour creams, unfortunately, because I always like to use organic, but those sour creams tend to also be really loose. If you're going to be making a salad dressing with it, then that looser texture may be what you're looking for. But for a dip that we're going to be using for crudité, we want it to be nice and stiff. So now that we've mixed those, we're going to start to add our seasonings. So we have a generous 3 cloves of garlic, and 2 tablespoons of finely chopped capers. Now, this is pretty widely available now. It used to be sort of a more gourmet item, but you can get this in most places. All of the ingredients for this recipe today I purchased at Trader Joe's. And we also just were using a Trader Joe's mayonnaise as opposed to making our own today. And the capers are going to really kind of also give it the briny quality, so there doesn't need to be any additional salt. It's going to give a really interesting flavor to this. And then we add half a cup of finely diced parsley. This is flat leaf parsley. The little last bits in there. And then we also have half a cup of finely diced chives. Now, also, there have been times where they haven't had chives at the store, and I have used green onions, but then I slice the green onions vertically and then also finely dice them so I get a real fine texture. Just think about the fact that you're going to be eating this as a dip, and you don't want big globs of parsley or herb getting in the way of whatever it is that you're going to be dunking. So, yeah. And that much herb is also there to help thicken the texture a little bit. You know, you can't really see, we don't have the best setup here with our first YouTube video, but we're glad you're here watching. If you're enjoying, like and subscribe. And then the last ingredient, sort of the other sort of unusual thing, is 1 teaspoon of hot sauce, Tabasco. And this is going to give it a little bit of sort of a peppery quality, but also the vinegar in it also gives it a little bit more tang and really nicely balances the other flavors in the dip. It smells so good, doesn't it?
It does. Yes.
Now, as tempted as you might, you're really going to want to wait a little bit because it needs to meld, the flavors need to all meld for an hour. And you also just want to give it a good chill so that, again, it's nice and stiff before you put it on your platter for the party. Now, for a party, you can see this is quite a bowl. Obviously, you're going to put it in another serving bowl. And again, you might want to garnish it with a little bit of chopped capers or some other chives or something just to give it a little bit of color. And then you can serve it on a crudité platter. James Beard suggests, you know, the usual sort of carrots and celery, but he also suggests asparagus, raw asparagus thin, and
Raw mushrooms.
Raw mushrooms, yeah.
Raw mushrooms.
And radishes, which I find I really enjoy, radish chips. So it's just sliced radishes or turnip. And then also you could add broccoli florets or the baby broccoli that's kind of popular right now. Really any vegetable that you would normally want to dip in ranch. It's also really good on baked potatoes. I've used that as leftovers. Even a chip dip, though it's very rich for a chip dip. And grilled meats, it's also really great. So let us know if you make the recipe and try it and how you enjoy it and what others think of it. So we really hope that you enjoy the segment and that you'll find the recipe a great addition to your recipe box and maybe at an event that you need for the holiday season. So from all of us, have a happy holiday, and we hope to see you New Year's Eve.
Happy holidays.
Should we try this dip?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
Mr. Gordon wants to try. It's not safe for doggies, though. But you can have a radish. Would you like a radish?